But when it comes to big conversation, no, Nathan snores. According to him, Nathan does snore. But if someone says, you know, you're snoring, no, it's not him, it's Nathan. I find it very odd because I expect people of that age, people double my age, to be a hell of a lot more mature, don't you?
Definitely.
Definitely. Go in there and it's silent.
I really catch myself looking at myself in the mirror all the time. It's really bad.
Oh, fuck, I forgot the microphone on. Run and get it.
What time is it?
Well, no, you know what? They'll tell you
If they need it, yeah.
No.
I really expected them to straight afterwards then say housemates are reminded to wear their microphones
For
at
the first couple of nights when we went to bed really late, like maybe at 4.
I'm pretty good at remembering to
5,
put my mic back on.
I never even noticed that Steve snored.
Yeah, look.
When you
And
came
then
out here and
maybe
you
the
were
third
outside
day,
in the
that's when
garden,
I
we heard them
noticed.
fucking peg it. We heard them
you know what I
really
do?
run down here.
I'll tell you what I do. and it really
Look,
does work.
we hear you.
I couldn't
You're not
think.
being very discreet.
If you want us
Are
to
you?
get juicy, then you're not going about it the right way, to be fair. I'm not going to ask you anything about what happened, but are you all right-ish?
I'm just totally shocked. It's come out of the blue, what he said.
Is this with John?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us what he did say?
Basically says I'm arrogant.
He said about you.
I'm arrogant, yeah, and
What the feck?
that he would never put up with someone speaking to him, looking at him the way I do in the real world.
Can I have the words, please? Don't you fancy him, though?
Well, yeah, this is what I don't
I've missed
get.
it all, guys.
I haven't got my microphone, they're going to tell me off. Should I go and get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Just
get it.
because I know they're going to shout it out in a minute.
Yeah, go and get it. What did I miss?
Babe.
Oh, I forgot to roll for you.
Rach said we could have one of hers.
What did she?
Do you want the roll-up or the menthol?
Ages ago, but we never
I'll
came out for
I'll
it.
have a roll up. That's okay. Do you
Cool.
mind? Sorry, I'm
no, I
stressing
should
yours.
probably roll one for me as well, because I have smoked quite a few of her cigarettes today, to be honest.
You think people are going to just like you then?
Oh, I think the public would, yeah.
Oh my God, so what, you trying to say the public are going to dislike me as well? Because,
Pardon?
what, you trying to say they're going to dislike me as well?
No, because you're a funny bloke. I think that you probably struggle to win because you don't hold back. People like that find it very hard to win because
To be honest,
because people like us will be up for nomination.
He saw that I love myself, and then in the house, when he came in, he realised that, yeah, I am like that.
Oh my God.
And he said, I know, I've heard that you were offended about the conversation we had in the garden the other day about me and sex and whatever he was talking about. And
I
just
said myself and
"Put in one
Rachel.
of
He asked me
Colin's."
straight away after.
No.
He said, and I said, yeah, myself and Rachel were a bit like, whoa.
I said the bit that I was shocked at was the fact that you have been in the car and your mates having sex on the bonnet. I said, but you know.
Where's the...
But I said generally, I find it quite funny.
Yeah.
And I thought that day that we'd like
they've done that.
finally had a chat and like got to know each other better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just says I give him funny looks all the time. I said, you must be so wrong because...
Their looks of like, come and get me, baby. Did you say that to him?
No. I said, I feel quite embarrassed now because I actually like you and think you're like a good-looking guy and you think that and oh, it's just so stupid. So he just
He'll
basically...
apologise tomorrow.
He won't.
Whose
he
hair is
basically
that?
was like mine. I pulled it out.
I'm really...
He's basically like... I said, right, I will try and make a conscious effort. Like, I'm sorry if my facial expressions offend you because I look at him, like, give him horrible looks.
Did he do a look? Like, as an example? What?
Yeah, but I know he looks like that all the time. Like,
What
if someone
look?
says something... Like, if someone says something that I don't agree with, I'll be like... Do you know what I mean? Like, and I do it, and he says I do it to him all the time. But he said this to me the other day, that I do funny looks, and so then, because he said it the other day, I was like, oh, it's just me messing around. So then I've kept doing it to him, like...
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Because he's always walking around like this, isn't he? So when he looks at me like, I'll go, like, in a jokey way.
Oh,
but he's
no.
obviously thinking I mean it's serious.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised.
I'm
really
so surprised that he's
surprised.
just decided to speak to me then when I'm going to bed.
I'm really surprised. I'm really
He's such
surprised.
a, like, chilled-out, laid-back guy, apart from against Big
Because
Brother.
I've said to him earlier on, like, I said, oh, you don't like me, do you? And he's like, what do you mean? And then that's when he called me out later on after that. Because whenever I seem to go to a group that he's in, like, say if he's sitting with Jovan and Josie, he, like, goes dead weird. And I thought, well, he doesn't like me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I just don't think people are getting it. How could anyone think that of you?
And then he was going, you know, I don't really know all you lot that well because you're smokers. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like I don't know you well at all because you don't, whenever I'm there, you don't talk about why would I want to talk to someone who gives me dirty looks all the time.
People, but like, when people like, they coax me into an argument like that, I'm gonna have to learn to deal.
Because it might offend him.
No.
Just be yourself.
Rachel. Because I have never seen any bad look on you, you know. And,
well, I know
and we all mess.
I've seen
we all
you
mess
do it,
though.
but not in a way that was irrelevant or I thought to be
It's
mean.
usually if someone says something and I don't agree, and I'm like, but it's not. It's just if I don't agree with what someone's saying, you can clearly tell that I don't agree. But it's not.
But
like
with
I do to
him,
all the
I feel like
time.
you're more like this.
Like today when we were lying on the bed.
You're more like
me
that
and
with
Ify,
him,
and
like-
we were
I bet he thought they were funny. I was being horrible, giving him dirty looks.
But you weren't.
No, you were literally
Why
giving.
didn't you tell him, Rachel?
Tell him what.
Why
That the looks.
But
don't
come
mean that.
hither.
Yeah, why didn't you say that?
Why would I? It's embarrassing. All I said was, you know, I like you and think you're a good-looking guy.
Maybe you're not as good at flirting as you
I'm
thought.
terrible in here, aren't I?
You're flirting when
You're
you're
about as flirty as a fucking piece of shit.
And how flirty is a piece of said
It
word?
depends if it's still steaming.
Steaming hot poo.
Do you think that maybe he thought your come hither eyes were dirty looks?
They weren't come hither eyes, but I was just looking at
Do you
him.
like really quite like him?
Well, not anymore. I just literally, I'm that bored. There's nothing to look at. Except you, Shabby.
You said to Rachel earlier, it might, in your eyes, it might be true, but it perhaps might not have been the right thing to say. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's true or not, you know, because essentially it can hurt somebody, and I do think she's hurt. I do think she's hurt, you know. But
What was the point of me not saying anything at all?
no, exactly, no, exactly, no, exactly.
She wanted to know. So I
No,
told her.
exactly. No, you're
So I told
right.
her.
You're right. No, you're right.
I would have been quite happy because of the situation she's in. I would have been quite happy. I would have been quite happy just to get plodding along
You know
and see what
actually,
happened.
because remember, I didn't actually hear a lot of it. I literally only heard snippets, and they were very mild snippets. I'm not sure exactly everything you said to her. All I know is, if you said to her what you're saying to me and Josie, she'd be very, 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 very upset because
It wasn't quite as extreme.
Well, that's cool.
But I didn't hold back.
You see. But then that to me, that's decent honesty. Do you know what I mean? Because you're being honest, but you're still being.
But I wasn't a cockhead about it.
But you were still being tactful.
I told her, but there was no need for me to go up to her and say, "Listen, I fucking hate you." Like I didn't want to say that because I overreacted the other night. I don't hate her.
No, I don't.
But I hate being looked at like that. I don't hate her. I don't know her well enough to hate her. But I dislike her, and I told her that. I said, I dislike you. I just told her, I don't like you. I don't like being stared at like that. I just don't. I never have. I said, I don't know why you do it. I said, I don't know if you think you're better than me. I don't think you... I said, I don't know why you do it, but you do it. She goes, no, I understand. So I was like, all right, well, if you understand... And I said, she goes, well, I'm going to try and make an effort from now. And I was like, no. I said, it's not about that. I said, who the fuck am I? I said, I'm not anybody. I said, you're just as important just as anybody else in this house. I said, we're all equal. I said, and that's what you've got to understand. I said, so my opinion means absolutely two fits of fuck all. I said, but if you want to know it, then I'm going to tell you. And she goes, well, I appreciate your opinion. She goes, and I want to be friends with you. And I said, well, that's fine. I said, and she goes, and I'll make an effort. I said, well, don't go out of your way to make an effort. I said, we're 14 people living in a house, about to be 13. We will bump heads eventually. I said, but I'm not going to talk to you about the way you are right now.
Day.
I know, that's what I thought. Why today of all days? Bring it to my attention now. It's just like not what I need today.
No.
I'm going to probably have the worst night's sleep ever. I was hoping for an early night.
Yeah.
And now look at it. I mean, it's not late, but you know.
I know it's so difficult, but you have to just think, you know, well, I know I'm not like that. So whatever he thinks, and that's it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like he's not really giving me a chance. Do you know what I mean? If he's judged me on the VT, which is fair enough, I know a lot of people will have done, and that's why I've come in here to prove, yeah, I am a VT, but not all the time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not always like that. So, yeah, from him, I'm really shocked. Because today in the diary room, Big Brother asking me, like, who I like and stuff, and I said him. Does it make you feel like an idiot?
Yeah.
That's completely burnt out, and it's not mine.
I'll just lied or anything.
Wait for thingy to come back out.
And I'm really, really shocked.
It's just so bizarre, like out of the blue, random. I was in bed, and he was stood at the door with the door open and went, come on, go. He said something, I didn't hear him, I thought he was talking to someone else. He was like, I'm not standing here all day. I was like, what? Who's
He said
talking?
that?
Yeah, he said something like that. I'm not holding it every other day. And I was like, what? What's he saying? And I think Jabon was like, he wants to talk to you.